Hello and welcome to the Play-by-Play show. My name is Leo West, joined alongside my favorite co-host of all time, Jacob Smith. Jacob, how are we doing today on this glorious Selection Sunday?
I am doing fantastic because it is the best Sunday of the year. It does not get much better than Selection Sunday.
What about Super Bowl Sunday?
This is better, in my opinion.
Yeah, because none of our teams made it. So, as you can see, always representing the 12s in the background. Look, I know we only do this once a week. Man, if I had the time to do a semi-weekly, like a semi-daily podcast, it would just be Seahawks glazing like the whole time. It would be Seahawks glazing like the whole time. But
if it wasn't Selection Sunday, we'd get into
a little bit Selection Sunday, it'd be, oh my gosh, Sam Darnold. Oh my gosh, Cooper Kupp is home. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and we saw this. I don't know. I saw some contract details about the Sam Darnold deal, and I totally just went to like, oh my god, we won the freaking offseason, bro. We won the freaking offseason, bro. So, but no, we'll have a great show for you today. We're going to be covering all things March Madness here on the Play-by-Play show, as we are watching alongside you guys for Selection Sunday.
Oh, here we go. It is starting right now.
It's starting
Live
right
reaction,
now.
hitting it to you with you guys pretty much straight up. We're seeing it as you guys are, so this is be very interesting to see what kind of happens.
We're basically a basketball team right now. If you're following it right now, we're basically a basketball team. So,
there we go. First official bracket pairing is set. Auburn.
There we go. Auburn, the number one seed.
That means they're number one overall. Is it not?
Yeah. I mean, I still think they're better than Duke, and that's what I was talking to Derek Jones. He's one of the ESPN commentators, one of my professors too. He was saying Auburn was going to win it because Duke is just so slow. But yeah, St. Francis, the Friars, they are in Dayton. I mean, you go into you have a losing record, you're not escaping Dayton, man. Also, look at their gym too. That's like my high school gym.
I might be a little bit ahead of you, but I'm gonna wait for you to kind of go through it.
Louisville!
And then we'll give our thoughts.
Louisville's an 8 seed?
Louisville is hot right now, one of the crazy hot teams in the country.
Wowzers! I mean,
you're gonna like this 8-9 pairing, Leo.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I would love to see who they're playing. Look, those guys do not look. Oh my god!
Great game to start.
Oh my god! Oh my 8-9! I'm watching that game.
These 8-9 games are going to be unreal this year. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's low key. Okay. That's low key Michigan glaze. That's Michigan glaze. Right
well,
there.
I mean, Michigan obviously just won the Big Ten tournament 30 minutes ago, and they were literally they were projected to be a 4 seed. So the 5, I think, is a little bit interesting for them here. Leo, you're also going to really like this 12 pairing. It's going to be tempting for a lot of people, I think, to get this upset going once that reveals.
Oh, I'm picking on. I don't pick UC San Diego. What? UC San Diego have to get Michigan? No, dude.
I feel like that is
Triton up, man. Triton up.
That is kind of screaming at me McNeese versus Gonzaga last year, where everybody's going to slam UC San Diego. Very interesting pairing there. I really like that a lot.
I'm going to make probably 2 brackets. Oh, there goes Texas A&M, number 4 seed. I'm going to 2 brackets, one with Michigan winning, one with UC San Diego winning. That's so annoying, man.
That's the way to do it right there.
Oh my god. Oh my, yeah, Yale's winning that game, bro. Yale's winning that game, dude.
Texas A&M does not pass the eye test.
That's low key. They do not pass the eye test.
I think they're a vulnerable squad. Oh. Yale obviously has experience winning against higher opponents. They took down Auburn last year.
I low key feel like that's glaze. I feel like that's glaze for Yale. 22-7 to get a 13 seed. I mean, they're proven, so.
Yeah.
No! San Diego State and North Carolina? North Carolina made it?
That means North Carolina made the tournament. That is really interesting.
That's wild. They're supposed to be last four out.
First four out. Committee gives them respect, puts them last 4 in.
Damn, that's crazy.
Really interesting there for
North
Carolina.
If they won that game against Duke, I would have put them in the tournament.
100%. That's
low key. I might take San Diego State. There goes Iowa State on Friday.
Top 3 seed. They were really playing great basketball. Kind of been slipping up a little bit recently, but Lipscomb should have their hands full with Iowa State. Iowa State's very good.
I'm probably gonna pick Iowa State in that one.
Okay.
Wow, Marquette as a 7 seed. Hey, like, am I crazy for thinking they're underrated like teams that I've watched a lot? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, the Patino's gonna do a double on Marquette, dude. Holy crap! I'm
That's an intriguing
That's
7-10
an
right there.
intriguing matchup right there. I'm low key. Oh, there's Sparty. There's Sparty.
Okay, yeah, I am ahead of you,
Seed.
so I was waiting for you, waiting for you to slam this one home. That's very interesting. I think it's more interesting that they put Michigan State and Michigan in the same side of the bracket.
Oh my
Obviously
God, yeah.
there is a lot of Big Ten teams that are going to be making the tournament this year, so it makes sense to put some together. But
Michigan and
they knew what they
Michigan
were doing,
State?
putting Michigan and Michigan State in there.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
that's
hold
very
on.
interesting.
Oh my gosh, Doug Edert returns to March Madness, dude. Doug Edert returns, dude.
I don't think
My-
he's on the roster anymore.
He's not on the roster at Bryant.
I checked because I was curious. I checked the other day, and he is not on the Bryant roster.
What is Doug Edert doing?
He might have graduated, but
What's Doug Edert?
oh my goodness. Very interesting South region. This has got a lot of potential to be a very good region as well. Did not
He's
expect to
25
go.
years old. Yeah, I don't think he's on the team.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
out of there.
insane. This is insane. Hold on, but do we have commenters? Studio? Oh no. Oh, live. Yeah, here we go. There's Jack's in the chat. Oh my gosh,
Jack
dude.
Judge is in the chat. There we go.
It just says Jack.
I know. I see. Hold on. What are we saying here?
I don't
There's
know.
the studio. He's Jack. A little bit of a high Jake. I love it.
That's
what should
great.
I have for dinner? I think you're gonna have to. I don't even know. Don't have Zach's
Don't
chicken
answer
farm. That's all
that
I can tell
question.
you.
It's strictly.
Just don't have Zach's chicken
Strictly-
farm. That's all I can tell you.
College. I think I spelled strictly wrong. No, I didn't.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a
What do we
pretty
think- what do we-
insane
what do we think of the-
region,
What do we think of the
dude.
South, Leo? What do we think?
Oh my gosh. Why did they put Michigan and Michigan State in the same region? That's insane.
Yeah,
That is-
that's a little interesting.
That is very interesting to say the least. That is very
Yeah, I mean
interesting to say
they're
the
lined
least.
up at the 5 and 2 slot, so probably not likely they're gonna cross paths, but still really cool by the selection committee. I like some of those teams in there. I don't think it's crazy overloaded. You have a lot of teams that are vulnerable in this region, I think, as well. Marquette
100%.
definitely being one of them. We talked about Michigan maybe going down to UC San Diego, Texas A&M. We said didn't pass the eye test, so I think this region's definitely vulnerable. I can see a lower seed making a run, while also Michigan State, Auburn, and even Iowa State, those kind of top 3 seeds, really making a deep run. This region looks
Yeah.
good for them.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn, Michigan State potential Elite Eight matchup. That
That would be
That's
fantastic.
got me excited a little bit.
It got
that would be.
yes, that would be a very intriguing matchup.
With all this conference realignment, you see a lot of teams who you normally wouldn't see together, but this is just a matchup we don't see at all. So
I think,
this is
I think it's great.
That'd be
And
great.
I think their play styles would obviously complement a lot as well, because Auburn loves to play fast SEC ball, but Michigan State really shuts down teams in the second half of games, mostly during all the games as well. But they really proved to shut down the opposing team's 3-pointer, which Auburn loves to take. So I think that game would just be very, very interesting. A little bit low scoring for Auburn standards if it were to happen, but I mean, fantastic draws for some of these teams. I am so excited to see how that bracket turns out.
Is there like a live feed for for like just show me the bracket? Hold on. You know what? Because I forget the teams. I forget who's in the gosh darn bracket. So
Oh yeah, I mean I can fire a pretty good amount of them off my head from memory, but
I'm most excited for that UC San Diego, because this is their
Michigan
first
game.
year. This is their first one eligible for March Madness too. That's crazy. I was on my Twitter last night. I posted hashtag Triton up. At whatever. Well, I actually couldn't fall asleep last night. I could not fall asleep last night, and then I was like, oh well, let me just see what's going on in the world of college basketball, and I saw UC San Diego won. I would have been happy with either of those teams, like UC. Oh my gosh, now I can't. UC Riverside. I would have been fine with Riverside or San Diego going to March Madness. So I mean, honestly, I think the Big West should be a 2-bid league. That's just me. I really hope we see San Diego or San Diego State. San Diego State's already in there. Hopefully we see UC Riverside in there, because I was watching Bent Leuchten. Is that how you say his name, bro? I've watched too many UC Riverside games, like that somebody on the East Coast should watch. Like I think I've watched like 3 of them, and I feel like that's too much. But let's not get sidetracked about UC UC Riverside. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say I think a lot of the fact that the conference tournaments kind of went in favor of the teams that were the top seed or at least the top 3 seed or higher. There wasn't really a lot of bid stealers this year, and I think a lot of those bubble teams that were like North Carolina and all that are going to get in. So for another mid major like UC or UC Riverside, probably not much luck, but definitely very interesting bracket right there. We got
very interesting. Very
it's
interesting.
the next region is being revealed. I almost just said it. I know you're a little bit behind me, so I'll let you kind of run through it. But the East region top seed was just revealed. That would be the Duke Blue Devils at 31-3.
This is ridiculous, dude. I can't believe I'm freaking behind. All right, let's click on the NCAA tournament.
I'll still let you commentate unless you want me to kind of go first and lead it, and then as it shows up on your screen, you can add your thoughts.
And the Duke Blue Devils are the #1 seed in the East region. Yep. Do they play? They play in freaking North Carolina. Of course they do, man. Of course they do. That doesn't surprise me.
Do you want me to lead it, or do you want to keep leading it? Just as a little question.
You can take this one if you want.
Okay, so 8 seeded revealed Mississippi State. 8-9 game is going to be Mississippi State and Baylor.
Damn.
Very interesting. I'm surprised that Baylor got a 9 seed. They have 19 total wins.
Let me see if I can get ahead here.
All good. I'll keep kind of talking through it as you fix and work that out. But we got the 5 seed revealed, Oregon Ducks. They had a interesting path in the Big Ten this year in their first year. They're going to face Liberty in that 5-12. Oregon and Liberty. Really do like that matchup. Liberty had a very strong season, 28 wins. Oregon has been playing good as of late. They made
Baylor has a 9 seed.
Great run. That's what I
What
said.
the hell?
I know.
19-4, 19-14.
Yeah,
that's a bit egregious.
Yeah.
Were they even going to miss the big dance?
I don't believe so, because normally if you're on a 9 seed, you're not really on the bubble, but I think they have some strong quad 1 wins. They have a very, very talented roster. Jeremy Roach kind of leads it there. But very interesting for them to get in at the fact that they did.
I mean, you're telling me, man. You're telling me.
But yeah, Oregon Liberty was at 5-12, and they just revealed the 4-13. I believe it was Arizona and I didn't catch who was the 13 seed, but Arizona was revealed as the 4. BYU just revealed as the 6. They will take on VCU. That is a very intriguing game as well.
BYU VCU.
Yeah, that is a fantastic game.
That's
BYU coming in with 24 wins, 24-9. They're very hot as of late. Took down a lot of good teams, including Iowa State, but VCU 28-6, clear one seed favorite in their conference. They always historically perform well, so should be interesting.
Did great.
Yeah, we got Wisconsin just revealed as the 3 seed. They just lost to Michigan in the Big Ten tournament, but
I buy that.
They're a very, very strong team. They just live and die by the 3. If their 3's not hitting, which it didn't do, and against Michigan, they're gonna struggle a little bit. I like their chances.
They died by the 3 in that big game. So I'm still behind. All right, I'm still behind. It's fine.
I can continue. I'll continue.
Just keep going.
Yeah, and then as it shows up on your screen, you can provide your thoughts as well. But Wisconsin 3 seed there. St. Mary's was just revealed. I didn't catch what seed it was. They are going to be a 7 seed. The St. Mary's Gales.
Oh my gosh! I mean, if you read the Substack, you would know my feelings about the St. Mary's Gales.
St. Mary's is a great March team. They are going to face Vanderbilt, Leo.
Wow.
Okay. 7-10. I really like Vanderbilt. I think they have the potential to make a little bit of a run.
No, because the committee keeps screwing over St. Mary's. I did run the numbers. Last 4 years, they haven't made it past second round. They haven't been. I don't think they've been to the Sweet 16 this century. So,
yeah, they got a lot of 5 to 8 seeds. They kind of hang in that pack, but I like that matchup against Vanderbilt. But I think Vanderbilt has the potential to kind of take them down. Vanderbilt has some great wins this year in a very tough conference in the SEC.
Well, yeah. If they've got 20 wins in the SEC, I mean, Baylor plays in the Big 12. But yeah, if you got 20 wins in the SEC, that's got to count for something. So
exactly.
The committee saw what they liked right there. But Alabama, 2 seed. Hey now.
Kind of expected that. Robert Morris at the 15. I don't think that game will have any upset potential. Alabama loves to play fast. They're
almost too fast. I mean, Grant Nelson went down in that game that we saw. The SEC. The SEC. It was the championship or the semifinal, right? Or the championship?
Semifinal, I believe. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it was semifinal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Robert
very very
Morris.
interesting
I don't think they're gonna
team
win that
there.
one. So
Yeah. This region's interesting.
it is very
I think we
interesting.
could definitely say about all of them, but I think the like some of these teams here, Arizona's someone that is vulnerable. They've worked their way up to a 4 seed, kind of moving down with it.
But they
Um,
play Akron though. Akron's like an
yeah,
Akron's is like a mid-major SEC team. They're like a mid-major Alabama. They are.
Akron is frisky.
The reason why they call them the Zips, man. There's a reason why they
Yeah,
call them the Zips, dude. I
that
watched
one has
that.
potential.
I watched that MAC championship game, and that was a great game. I mean, they're going to Seattle, so like Arizona might like it's their time zone. So
Yeah, a
actually, it
little
might
bit of
not even
advantage
be their
there.
time zone. They might have home court advantage, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's personally for me. That's my most intriguing matchup, and then I think below that, just right below that, is St. Mary's Vanderbilt. That
Oh,
is
great. That'll be a great game.
that is an incredible matchup. I look because like SEC teams play fast, and St. Mary. It's basically like it's not quite an unstoppable object or unstoppable force against a movable object, but it's like the Walmart version of that. Like it's gonna be like oh, what top 50 offense is gonna be? I mean, to be fair to St. Mary's, they do have a top five defense in the nation, top
Yeah,
10 defense
yeah,
in the nation. So they do
yeah,
they do have a lot of quality on their team. The Lithuanian duo they have, I've been really impressed by. So,
yeah.
but yeah, if you checked out the Substack, then you would know all about my feelings for St. Mary's. I mean, it kind of got a tough draw. I think the committee just keeps liking to screw them over. Just I think they do it on purpose at this point. They're like a former commissioner has to be like a fan of has to be like a fan of like Gonzaga or something like that, or like did something bad and he went to St. Mary's. That's my only rationale for it. So
Yeah, and I mean, playing in that conference with Gonzaga
and
always
losing
typically
the
kind of comes
conference
out on
too.
top. Yeah, I mean, you can say what they want about them getting like a little bit nipped in terms of selection Sunday, but they're always right up there with Gonzaga, but they can never get over the hump against Gonzaga in the tournament as well as the regular season. They'll normally beat them once or twice a year, but I feel like kind of just for what they bring to the table, what their skill level is, I feel like a 7 seed is pretty reasonable. It's just they've been 5 seeds in years past. Like they've gotten up there sometimes, but just an intriguing matchup. Like I feel like every matchup to that degree is going to be intriguing. And I really like Duke's chances to come out of that East region. Because especially with Cooper Flag having a little bit of an injury question,
If
and then
Cooper
seeing how
Flag
some of those teams
is
just got drawn. I mean,
yeah, if Cooper Flag is back, I think
he
they
will
win
be
the
back, by the
East.
way.
I think they win the East. Yeah, like if there's no long term effects of his injury, I think they win. Someone just texted me Akron's gonna beat Arizona, so I'm fully in
Yeah,
agreement with
I
that.
don't hate that.
That's
There's
gonna
a
be a
lot.
good game.
I feel like 13-4 upsets are the new 12-5. They happen a lot
Low
more.
key, I mean, you know which one I guess it was a 3-14 matchup, but Arkansas versus Colgate,
Yeah,
2021. I will never forget
great
that
game.
game. Colgate was up. The thing is, like they were up. Like they were up by like 12, I think, for large parts of the game, and they lose it. They lose it in the last minute. I was kind of sucky right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Loki might be right. 4 to 13 is the new 5 to 12 because I feel like the 5 seeds are winning. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
believe there
Because
was.
I feel
I
like
believe there was only
Michigan's a
one.
freaking 5 seed for crying out loud.
No, exactly, and they're a very solid team. And I think if I remember correctly, last year only had one 12-5 upset. And like we were kind of saying with that Gonzaga McNeese one, like that was the most popular
That was
12
the
to
one. Yeah,
5.
I had that circled in. I had that
And
penciled in.
then
Like
yeah, and then
Gonzaga's
McNeese
falling
came
off.
out and
Yeah,
got absolutely pooped on.
torched.
Gonzaga wiped the floor with them, and sometimes that's just what happens. But like
Yeah.
even I'm not going to go out and say 3-14s are just common either, but 3-14s, 4-13 upsets have been more prevalent. I mean, you if a team's got a star like Oakland did it with Jack Golke last year and took down Kentucky, and if the team like Kentucky and some of the ones that we're mentioning for this year's tournament, like if they're vulnerable, there's always a chance the game's gonna be close. Or if you have a mid-major that's hungry, they'll be able to take them down. But very intriguing bracket there. I think it's Duke's to lose. Alabama might be one of the only ones that can run with them. I feel like in terms of that
Well,
East
I mean,
region,
and
but
physically, like just the way they play too, like actually keep up
exactly
with them.
no,
So
like run with them in terms of competition, but also literally. But Alabama, I feel like they might have the potential to go down early. They never really make it too crazy far in the tournament. Even though they did last year, but just their style of play sometimes comes back to bite them. But we are back on the air in terms of Selection Sunday with the CBS crew talking to us right now. Such an amazing sight. I believe we're going to get the next region revealed right now, which we are.
Let me get this one. Let me get this one.
You want to
then
go
then
ahead?
You can do the last one. Yeah.
Sounds good. They just revealed it on my screen, but I'll commentate when you get to see it in real time and provide my thoughts. But I didn't catch what region it is. It might be South. It's Midwest region coming at you.
All right, so we got the Midwest region. I thought I was like 3 seconds behind you. Now I'm like a full,
yeah, no, it is a little bit of
a full minute behind you. This is what happens with streaming, guys. Don't what happened to cable, man? What happened to cable?
Bring back cable, please.
Bring back cable. Bring back expensive boxes. But Houston, the number one seed in the Midwest, that kind of sucks for them. Where are they going to have to play? Are they going to have to play? They're going to play in
Wichita, Kansas.
Okay, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. No. That's Providence, Rhode Island for the Midwest. Some of these guys, look, it's college basketball. Some of these guys might need to go to college because Providence, Rhode Island is not in the Midwest. SIU Edwardsville, they are going to get stomped. Look at Houston; they are not moved. Nope. They are not moved. They know they're on. They know they are on camera right there.
Ooh, this 8-9 is intriguing. I'll let you see it.
Oh.
This is very, very intriguing.
Gonzaga, the Bulldogs. Boo.
Really, they're always such a solid tournament team.
They're good.
I think they have a Sweet 16. I think they have a Sweet 16 streak going right now where they.
They've made it to the tournament last 26 years. I was listening to the Eye of College Basketball podcast. Great show, by the way. We are not affiliated with CBS in any way, but they do a great show. They do a great show every week. I was planning on listening to the episode tonight, but Gonzaga, Georgia. Whoa,
great game.
Georgia. I remember they beat Florida, and Gonzaga has a big scalp in their own right in St. Mary's too. So that's gonna be good. Clemson 5 seed, bro. Put some respect on the Tigers, man. Put some respect on the Tigers, man.
You're gonna love this.
Put some respect on the Tigers. Is it McNeese? Oh, don't tell me it's McNeese, man. Don't tell me it's McNeese, man. God dang it, dude! No! Mm-hmm. No! Oh my god, bro. Mm-hmm. They hate them.
Bracket makers know what they're doing.
They hate the Cowboys, bro. They
know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
That's unbelievable. Purdue 4 seed. That's now. Yeah. I'm distraught. I am so distraught right now.
I kind of saw it coming.
High Point's taking them down. High Point's taking them down. That's my matchup right there. HPU, baby. HPU.
High Point's a fantastic team. Yep.
Oh my gosh, they're so good. Bodo, best rebounder in the nation. If you don't know the name, you'll know next weekend. You'll know on Thursday. You'll know on Thursday, buddy boy. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that game. That's going to be such a good one. All right, we're coming down here to the last part of the Midwest region. Illinois, 6 seed at, 21-12. I saw those numbers at the same time, and I couldn't get them out.
I feel like it's deservedly so. I mean, you look at the record sometimes for some of these schools compared to their seed, and you wonder why it's so high. But these tough conferences, the committee loves it. I don't hate Illinois getting a 6 seed there. They played solid all season.
Texas Xavier, another team we thought was out. In Texas, 19-14 record, just like Baylor.
Those few games they won in the tournament.
The
SEC tournament helped them out a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Because they were like 17-4, 17-14, and they won a couple of games. Yeah. So, and then Xavier. I mean, I thought they were better than an 11 seed.
They had a cold stretch in the middle of their season. Really had a pretty good finish.
Yeah, but
helped them out a little bit.
I low key feel like it's about how you finish, not how you start. So I thought they would get a little favor there, but Kentucky is your 3 seed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Friday. Oh, they didn't put them in Lexington, really?
I don't think. Really? I'm pretty sure you can't do that. You can't put them in their home.
I mean, they put Duke and Raleigh for crying out loud. So, but they'll play Troy and then UCLA, 7 seed. That's a brutal travel day for them. And they'll play
will also
Utah
be for their
State.
Opponent though. So.
Oh, I like that matchup right there. I low-key think Utah State might win that one.
That'll be a fun one.
Hold you. Look, if that was New Mexico or Boise State, I'm picking either of them over UCLA.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, that's
Tennessee.
That's a great matchup.
Zagai Ziegler in the Bulls. Excuse me. They will play in Lexington, Kentucky on Thursday, and they will play Wofford. Yeah, Wofford. Sorry, guys. Yeah. I did pick Wofford to win that conference championship. I did pick Wofford to win. But not gonna go well. Not gonna go well for the Bulls. But Jake, I want to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I think on first reaction, this is gonna be my bracket or side of the bracket at least that doesn't have as many upsets as expected. I think.
Really, you think this? I feel like the East has less upsets for me.
It's just from my original reaction to the bracket. I
Okay.
really like how some of these top teams play. Kentucky, I know we know what happened last year when they were also a 3 seed, but Troy does not have the same aura that Oakland did last year, to break it to you. I really like the
Real,
potential
real.
UCLA tenant. I like the potential UCLA Tennessee pairing that we might get in the second round if they are able to get by Utah State. I think Tennessee might be an upset watch a little bit there, but other than that, I feel like most of these teams that are top seeds are a little bit stronger. But I see you were wanting to make a point, so
Yeah.
hit me with it.
But like the thing is, like you see, like Utah State, they're from the Mountain West. They are a Mountain West team with no aura, no aura. They don't have Rick Pitino's son, and they aren't the school of Ashton Genty. Like I've been giving you guys good analysis. This is where the gut takes over, and it's just like, well, I'm not going to go with Utah State. I don't know anybody on their team. And we can get into the you can get to the analytics and what stat is the best stat, but like at the same time, you just got to be like, well, this team just does not strike. Team does not make me feel good at all. So, and
Yeah.
that's when I've had the most success. Because UConn in 2023, I had a gut feeling they were a 4 seed too, and I know I still brag about this to this day. Like I know with you and our other friends, me and Jake's friends, I still was like, oh, well, who won the bracket in 2023? This guy. And then last year was god awful. I don't want to talk about last year. I was in my sports media class. And my professor was like, and we were picking out a bracket in that class, and I was like, I never pick repeat champions. And he was just like, why? I was like, well, because it's my rule. And then look what ended up happening. UConn went back to back, and it still feels weird to me. Like that was only a year ago. It feels like longer it was.
It definitely
but Jake,
feels like a long time ago.
Jake, give me your favorite matchup on opening night. Give me your favorite matchup you see here.
Midwest region or overall?
Midwest region.
Oh man. I think there's some really good ones. I'm not gonna lie. I think in terms of like most interesting for brackets, I'm gonna say Clemson and McNeese State, just because of what happened last year when McNeese State really kind of sold the bag a little bit. I think that game has really good potential to be close and good. I know McNeese State got blown out last year to Gonzaga at the same seed, at that 12 seed, but I really do like that matchup. Clemson has been on some kind of level of high in the ACC, but is also a weak ACC. I really like that game, but I'm gonna stick with Clemson McNeese, but I'm also gonna say UCLA Utah State. But the only reason I want to say UCLA Utah State is so I can say UCLA and Tennessee in the round of 32. I think that one has the potential to be the most interesting matchup, hypothetically, if both teams were to get by their first round opponent. But I think that UCLA is one of those teams that can make a run in this tournament, especially as a 7th seed. I think a little bit disrespected in terms of seeding, but I guess to give you one more as well, Purdue High Point should be a very good game. And I know you're high on that one, so I'll let you talk about that.
I absolutely love this High Point team coming out of the Big South. They are a team that passed the eye test for me. They are a team that absolutely passed the eye test for me. And I know I tend to don't give a lot of stock. I mean, I love picking upsets, but I don't tend to give a lot of stock into teams for like first year conference champions and stuff like that. Like teams who don't have teams who aren't talked about. But like this High Point team has been talked about. Like if you know Ryan Hammer, he's been hammering away, pun intended, with this High Point team. And the Big South is they're kind of really an unknown conference. I mean, you really don't have a lot of teams coming out there and making noise in March. So I really like this matchup for High Point University because these Big Ten teams, I feel like in recent years have been so prone to like upsets, and it really wouldn't surprise me at all if they did if Purdue was one and done too, especially with, they kind of crashed out of the tournament. Like they kind of crashed out.
I mean that loss to Michigan was not pretty and kind of been on a downcline. They've really did not finish their season on a high point, which is why I, no pun intended, really like High Point there in that matchup. But just to move it along a little bit too, the West region is being revealed right now. I know you said I can take the lead for this one, so I'll do that.
Last region, here we go, baby.
Number 1 seed is going to be Florida. I think completely well-deserved. They are a team that could be like UConn to me. I think they are really, really good. 3rd and 4th in the SEC. That is so impressive. They'll get Norfolk State.
Shout out Mason Kinahan. Shout out Mason Kinahan to the Keeping Up with Commanders podcast. Shout out him, bro, because he's a massive Florida fan. they're about to dog walk this region. I'm not gonna hold you. Why are they playing in the West? The West in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, I have no idea, but that 8-9 matchup's also going to be interesting. You got UConn and Oklahoma. Oklahoma, little bit of a bubble team, but they really kind of helped their chances late in their season.
UConn, Oklahoma.
UConn, we know, is proving themselves as a champion in the past.
That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, that'll
if they get past Oklahoma, that is going to be a tough game. Oh,
UConn,
wow.
Florida. I really like that, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of UConn picks over Florida. But that Friday,
low-key, yeah.
we have our 5-12. We got Memphis and Colorado State. So I know 5-12s are always interesting. That one could have a little bit of potential. Colorado State put together a really strong season. Memphis as well. They looked a little bit frisky early in the year and then really picked it up.
They looked a little frisky in January because you know where I was on January 17th, 2025? I was at the Leah Core Center on the court after Penny Hardaway's team lost to the Temple Owls. So that was a fun game.
Fun seeing, yeah.
But there we go, the Crab 5. Again, shout out Mason Kinahan. The Crab 5.
Oh, man. We got a Maryland and Grand Canyon matchup in the 4-13. I really like Maryland. They are a very strong team.
That either is going to be one of the best games of the first round or one of the worst games of the first round.
Yeah, I can agree with you. Maryland
Watching
has
Maryland,
the potential.
Maryland's a tough team. They're a tough team.
Very solid squad. The 6-11's also a really, really fun matchup. We got Missouri and Drake. Really like that
I'm picking Drake. Go Bulldogs.
Yeah, Drake
Bulldogs.
makes sense there. Missouri's one of those SEC teams that's a little bit frisky. I don't really like them that much.
Orless. Missouri's all-less. You heard... Oh, my gosh.
They've been inconsistent. Yeah, they've been inconsistent, especially as of late. I like Drake in that one. We got Texas Tech and UNC Wilmington at the 3-14. Texas Tech put together some kind of great season. Really kind of out of nowhere,
Tech's going to beat the Seahawks.
JP Toppin, please learn the name. He is unreal for Texas Tech. Be a big contributor as to why they're going to win in March, because I guarantee you they will. They are fantastic.
They're gonna make some noise. I totally think you're right there.
Definitely. We got Kansas just revealed as a 7 with a 21-12 record. I know I said records don't mean as much, but they're going to take Arkansas on at that 10 matchup.
Wait, Arkansas?
Very interesting. Arkansas, 20-13 overall, 10 seed.
Wow.
So, John Calipari's going to get his first stint at March Madness at a different school, kind of like a revamped Kentucky roster that he has, but they avoided the bubble,
his first
which I guess is
outside
pretty
of Kentucky,
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game. St. John's is going to get the 2 seed. As they deserve it. They had a fantastic season. Rick Pitino has done some crazy things to that program. Really revived them.
Rick Pitino, that's the team that passed the eye test for me, man. They are legit. They play blue collar basketball, and you know who loves blue collar basketball? This guy right here. 2 thumbs up for me.
Yeah,
fantastic. I absolutely
squad.
Adore St. John's.
Yeah, and then they're gonna get Omaha to round out the bracket. So that's it. That's the bracket.
That is the bracket. There. That is
very
the bracket
interesting.
Right there.
I really like this a lot. Wow, this region's sweet. It's Florida's to lose, I feel like, but there's some teams like UConn, Kansas. I might even throw Arkansas in there that don't really have the best records. A little bit disappointing seasons, but they have the squad and they have the players that make a difference in March to go and win some games. I could see a little bit of a low seed deep run here in this region of the bracket. As much as I love Florida, maybe. They will have to see how they get out because their March success isn't always historic. But
all I'm telling you now is I'm low-key probably just going to pick the 1 and 2 to come out this region. I'm not going to hold you. Like, I mean, Maryland being on the same side as Florida would be a little concerning to me too, especially UConn. I feel like they did Florida low-key dirty. I feel like they did Florida really dirty. But putting Memphis, UConn, and Maryland all on the same side of the bracket. That is... Yeah. Florida's gonna, they're gonna show their mettle, so they're gonna show how tough they are. So,
oh my goodness!
But Jake, tell me your favorite. Really cool. Tell me your favorite matchup
from this region or overall.
Yeah,
I think
this region. Then we can go into Then we can go do Then we can go over our favorite matchups in general.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think my favorite one in the West region is gonna have to be Kansas, Arkansas. I know both these teams. One definitely had a big disappointment. Kansas was the number 1 overall team in the country coming into the preseason, so very disappointing for them to get a 7 seed, but they have great playmakers, Hunter Dickinson and AJ Storr. They're going to lead this team. I feel like they have the potential to knock off a few teams in later rounds that might, like St. John's, Kansas could be an intriguing matchup, I'm not going to lie, but Sticking to the first round matchup, I really like Kansas going up against Arkansas because Arkansas is completely revamped. They also have future NBA players on that roster, but they really didn't come together as much as Arkansas would have hoped and John Calipari would have hoped. But definitely my favorite one in that region. I really like it. But and just before I let you ask you the same question, they're showing the first four out. So West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio State, and Boise State were the first four out.
Boise State's out?
I think
Utah State is over Boise State. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the freaking Big West. The Big West, not a 2-bid league apparently. I totally feel like they got disrespected right there. The fact that UC Riverside isn't even there, that's obscene to me. That is downright disgraceful right there.
Yeah.
Boise State not making it is unbelievable. Look at Texas, 19 and 15. Same thing with Arkansas too. I know they're coming out of the Mountain West. Mountain West only has 4 teams. That's just disrespectful in my opinion. I feel like because they went to the Mountain West championship game. They went to the championship game. They beat the number 1 seed in New Mexico. They beat Colorado State and they beat Utah State. All those teams that we saw. Boise State. That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Oh my gosh.
I agree with you because, obviously we know how much the selection committee loves their teams that are kind of somewhat average and conference play from the bigger conferences, from the Power 5 conferences. We know how much that always exists, and that's why the Big Ten, the SEC, always sends 8 or 9 teams every single year. But I feel like some of those teams, some of those mid-majors deserve, like Boise State, deserve a chance because they've proven how often do we see a top SEC, Big Ten, ACC school go down early to one of these mid-majors. That's why I feel like they should be getting more chances in getting in because it happens a lot more than we realize. But there's obviously a lot of Power 5 committee bias. But
that already answers our first question too: is who got robbed, and it's 100% Boise State. That is unbelievable, man. Well, how? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But that is your bracket. Let's go through some of these questions and
I want to try to
answer some, and then we'll wrap everything up with the national championship pick.
Yeah, let me try to pull up this bracket real quick because I want to highlight some of my favorite matchups once again. Hello. Okay, all right, I can get a good idea whenever you want to fire those away.
And we should have we got the bracket live right now. All right, let's start in the South region because let's start with who do we think comes out of the let's talk about who has the easiest path, what matchup in the whole tournament are you excited to see, and then first reaction, who's your national champion. So I'm gonna start. Let's just go region by region, and then we can dive through it there. I think I'm just gonna eliminate Florida immediately. They have the toughest path. As a 1 seed,
I don't hate that. Yeah.
As a 1 seed, they have the toughest path. But out of these seeds right here, honestly, I think it might be Duke. I think Duke has a shout to have the easiest path out of here because look, let's go to the Midwest. So Houston, they're gonna win. They're gonna play Gonzaga or Georgia. If they play Gonzaga, I think Kelvin Sampson's team might be in a little bit of trouble. And then we go down. Then we go down and see Clemson McNeese. Clemson is an incredibly tough team. So say Houston makes it to the Sweet 16, they're gonna have to play Clemson or McNeese in there. If they get by, and then you got Purdue and High Point. I think Houston could take care of both those teams. I think Houston could take care of McNeese too. And then you look on the other side. They got Tennessee down there, with the aforementioned UCLA and Kentucky as well. I think UCLA and Tennessee are shouts to go to the Elite Eight, and even the Final Four if they face Houston, because it looks like Houston's got a tough path right there. And then we go to Florida. They have to play UConn or Oklahoma. If they play UConn, that's gonna be a tough game. Then they're gonna have to play Maryland, Memphis, Colorado State, or GCU. And Maryland and Memphis are really, really good teams. And you scroll down even further. They got Texas Tech to play, Kansas, Arkansas, and then St. John's. I'm looking around here. St. John's might be the cleanest 2 seed in my opinion because they're a conference champion. They played really well in the month of March. They played some tough teams in the month of March as well. And I think they're one of the most complete teams out here. Like it's hard to do everything in college basketball, and St. John's is one of those teams who I think does almost everything. Not quite to the level of a complete team. Like I the one thing they struggle with is free throw shooting. And then if you look at their stats, 3-point shooting's a struggle, but in those tournament games, Zuby Ejiofor was hitting threes. And if Zuby Ejiofor is hitting threes, like it's just pack it up. Just pack it up and get ready to go. Because St. John's is gonna they're gonna go far in March. And like honestly, I mean if you read the Substack from earlier in the month, I honestly think they have the potential to go and win it. But then we're looking up in the oh my gosh, in the East bracket, with Duke. I mean, Mississippi State, Baylor, they could beat those teams. Oregon, Liberty, they could beat those teams. Zona, Akron, I think Duke could beat those teams. BYU, VCU, I think they beat those teams. Wisconsin, Montana, I think Wisconsin would probably give them a run for their money, especially Alabama down here too. But that's not until the Elite Eight. So I think Duke got really lucky with how things turned out for them. And they're looking at Auburn. They're just gonna have to play Louisville or Creighton. And both those teams had really, really good seasons and matched up really, really well against Auburn. I mean, Kalkbrenner. I mean, I think we would all love to see Kalkbrenner and Janai Broome match up together. I think that would be a great matchup. But then, yeah. And then we got Michigan, UC San Diego. Both those teams are incredible. I think we all want to see a Danny Wolf, Vladislav Golden game against Janai Broome and the Tigers. Like Denver Jones, Chad Baker-Mazara going up against the Jewish Joker. I actually think a lot of people would want to see that, and including me too. As much as I love the Tritons, I would love to see that too. And then you got Ole Miss, you got Texas A&M, Yale. Texas A&M is a really good team. New Mexico, Marquette. New Mexico's a really good team. And then like we said before at the beginning of the bracket, Michigan State's a really good team, so I think with all that considered, Duke has probably got the easiest run. And of course they give it to Duke, right? Blue blood. They're one of like the last 1-seed blue bloods left. I mean, there's no Villanova, there's no 1-seed UConn, there's no 1-seed Kentucky, there's no 1-seed UCLA. So obviously they got the easiest ride there. So, but Jake, tell me who are you in agreement with me, or do you think somebody else has an easier path?
Yeah, I like your Duke take. And I know, of course, it kind of went to Duke, like you said, but they did really put together a great season. Only 3 losses, and now that they have Cooper Flag back, I feel like it's kind of their bracket to lose. But the team that really stands out to me that probably has one of the easiest paths, my Wi-Fi just cut out. Oh dear, the infamous Wi-Fi cut out. But um, we are back now. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was gonna send you a text. Just to keep talking because I don't think it'll be fine. It's just on my end that it's really glitchy for you, and I'm not too sure how the live stream looks. I low-key haven't been checking that.
All good.
But yeah. Yeah. What were you saying?
Yeah, it should be fine because my Wi-Fi like completely cut out, so it probably wouldn't have done anything to keep talking. But anyways, back to my point. I think the team that really stands out to me that has one of the easiest paths is Alabama. I believe that, like I know I said their play style is always going to come back to bite them. I feel like that's always going to be the demise if they don't ever win it all. But this team got to the Final Four last year.
Yeah.
Exactly. This team got to the Final Four last year, and Nate Oates has put together a very, very solid foundation. They really do run. They can run with anybody, literally and physically. And they put together so many points. I know they let up a lot of points. Exactly. I know they don't let up. I know they let up a lot of points as much as scoring them, but I mean, looking at this bracket, St. Mary's is your 7. That would be St. Mary's or Vanderbilt is your second round matchup. Wisconsin, if they get by. Wisconsin is definitely a team that plays very similarly to Alabama, so that one would be interesting. Maybe their biggest competitor there, and then that 6th BYU. That's the bottom half of the bracket.
Alabama already does what Wisconsin does, but better.
Exactly. So that's the bottom half of the bracket. I mean, I think that definitely it just makes sense for Alabama to get back to the Elite Eight at the very least, and potentially match up in the Final Four again. But I think that to me is the easiest path from what I'm looking at initially.
Yeah, this East region definitely is looking a little cupcake, in my opinion. But let's go. Out of all the games that we have, out of all the 68 teams, you can even mention a first 4 team if you want to. You can even mention the Dayton game if you want to. But what is your favorite matchup out of this? How about I'll let you go first, and then I can round it out.
Yeah, sounds great. Um, there's so many to kind of look at, and I'm scrolling through this right now, kind of really wanted to get this pick right because there's just so many games that really look good to me. But I think that Michigan San Diego game is going to be unreal. It's UC San Diego, right? I don't want to be mispronouncing it, so I can't find that game right now. But um, double check that. But I believe that Michigan San Diego game is definitely going to be my favorite one. Just the fact that it's a 12-5, and I said kind of coming in this that whoever Michigan gets as a 5 seed might be their demise, might take them down. I think San Diego is that team that is going to do that. They're unreal. Play at a very good pace. Michigan has proved to be streaky all season, but also
Yeah,
during all of their games. That's what
I'm in
happens.
agreement. Yeah.
They go on runs, and that's what happens. I think guards win in March, and Michigan doesn't have very many guards that are going to contribute them to winning in March. They're built from Vlad Goden and Danny Wolf, which are all fantastic players. But at the end of the day, a deep backcourt is going to help you, and I think that Michigan might be on upset watch here. But it's also going to be my favorite matchup because I think it'll be such a good game that it could turn out to that. But I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with you on that one. I think Michigan and San Diego State is going to be a phenomenal game. And I will make sure that I am watching that game even if I'm working, if I'm doing schoolwork, for hell if I'm driving too. I will make sure I'm watching that game. But yeah, Jake, I think that's a really good really good game right there. And not to copy you because I do really like that game as my first as one of my favorite games to watch. But I'm looking at this Clemson McNeese game,
Yeah, yeah,
and that kind of excites me a little bit. But
yeah,
beneath that one is probably my favorite match for the first round: Purdue versus High Point. I mean, like Purdue, the Big Ten Player of the Year, Braden Smith, and then you got Trey Kaufman-Renn as well. That is going to be a heavyweight bout right there, especially with the guys that High Point's got, especially with the guy that High Point guys that High Point has. Excuse me, I definitely think that they are going to be a really good team too. Because Keza Gifa was I think the player of the year in the conference. Like they are just, and then Juzlin Boda, like I said before, Kimani Hamilton as well. Guys who can just score the ball. They play offense at an elite clip, and honestly, I think they may have the chance to overpower this Purdue team if they're not able to keep up. Because with the Big Ten, we talk about these teams that kind of play slow, and Purdue is one of the biggest culprits of that because you just got TKR going in the paint scoring 30 points, but it's a 55-57 game. You know what I mean? So I really do like this High Point Purdue game, the 4-13 matchup in the Midwest side of the bracket. And I am so looking forward to that game. I'll probably pick High Point three times out of four in that bracket. So, but
yeah.
yeah, that is very exciting. Before we end things here, before we say goodbye, Jacob, tell me who is winning the national championship.
I have gone back and forth about this so many times because I know picking the upsets and picking the bracket is so much fun, but that really is like the most important pick of your bracket is who's actually going to win it all. I've historically not been very good at this, so I'm going to try to give it my best shot here this year. But I think just in terms of who I really have a gut feeling about, I'm going to say Duke or Auburn. I know it's kind of cliche, and those are two of the top teams, and they have been all year. But Duke has the perfect blend of veterans and young talent. Cooper Flag, Conkanapolis, I mean, outstanding freshmen, and then they also have the veteran depth of one of the best teams in the country that's going to help them win in March. Auburn, talk about another team with veteran depth. I mean, their entire roster is almost as old as the Oklahoma City Thunder, but it's a good thing, and especially in college basketball, you're going to need teams that have experience, players that have experience, as well as an experienced coach, as in Bruce Pearl is. And Auburn has always proven that they can make runs in March. I think I would trust Duke a little bit more than I would Auburn, especially knowing that Cooper Flag is going to be just fine for the tournament. So if I had to really give you my one instead of just throwing you two options where I still can't even decide myself, I'd say Duke is my pick to win it all this year from the initial reaction tonight.
Yeah, like, I mean, they do have the easiest path, like we covered before. I honestly, if they don't make it to the Elite Eight, I think that would be a failure of a season. I think that's their that should be their minimum goal. Obviously, they have their sights set on the national championship, being the overall 2 seed. But I really want to say Auburn as well. But the last 4 or 5 games they've played, I just really am not confident in the Tigers as much as I was, a couple weeks ago, or even a week ago. So like losing to Alabama and then not getting knocked out of the SEC title in the semifinal, that's it's just I'm just not inspired. And the good thing is for Auburn is they you know it's the SEC title. Like it's not the title that they want to win. They want to win the national championship, and I definitely think they're capable of doing that, but I kind of flip flop. Auburn and the team I think is going to win it is Florida. I think Florida is going to win the national championship. Go Gators! I think Walter Clayton Jr., the All American SEC Player of the Year, is going to be hoisting that trophy at the end. And it's kind of a shame because they're going to have to play St. John's in the Elite Eight, and I really just want to pick just say F it, screw all logic, and pick St. John's to win the whole thing. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be a case. But honestly, I could make the case for the team that comes out of the West is going to be the team that wins it. So I will say it here now. I think the team that comes out of the West will win the game, will win the national championship. So
I
booking
like
it
that
right
take.
now. That's who I'm going with. But Florida, the Gators are my national championship pick. I mean, 104 points on Alabama's head. That was kind of all I needed to see, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Jake, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Not anything too crazy. I definitely agree with you on your Florida pick, and I think this will be one of the craziest tournaments we've probably seen in recent memory. I know we say that every year, and the upsets keep kind of climbing on, but I don't think there's ever been more parity in a season and more kind of uncertainty of who's really going to win it all. I don't. I feel like if you asked 10 people in a room, and all 10 of them would say a different champion that they think's going to win, it's just that kind of year. I think we're in for a crazy ride. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in agreement with you. I think this is one of the most um, one of the brackets or one of the seasons of college basketball where kind of anybody could win it. Anybody could win it.
Most definitely.
Like we could have mid-major teams going to the Sweet 16. You know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe. Definitely got that kind of vibe. Um, but yeah, I think that will do it here from us. I'm Leo West again, joined by alongside my favorite co-host Jacob Smith, and we will see you for the next episode. Probably recapping some opening March Madness weekend stuff. But we will have the official bracket pool for the play-by-play show up in a couple minutes. Make sure you guys join that. And to those of you who are watching this live, thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching it. And then this will be everywhere, as it usually is. But again, I've been Leo West, joined alongside Jacob Smith, and you guys have a wonderful first week of March Madness.
Peace.